Life's journey can feel like one big adventure, right? We come across a core truth as we go, the balance between solitude and companionship. When we're cruising through quick and easy moments, solitude seems like a welcome friend, tempting us to go solo and let our feet move without a care. But when the road stretches long and tough, suddenly the idea of walking side by side with someone else starts to sound mighty appealing. It's a bond, a shared mission to make it through together. But here's the kicker. Who's walking with us on this trip? Who's really beside us when the world starts to feel heavy? Not all company is a blessing, after all. Sometimes being around people doesn't lift you up, it weighs you down. It's like that age-old saying, we come into this world alone. And in the end, it's just us and the universe again. Learning to be alone, to be okay with our own company, is a true skill. It's like finding peace in your own reflection. Only when we understand how to truly enjoy those moments by ourselves can we really appreciate the beauty of being together with others. We, as humans, are different. We have this cool thing called consciousness, a gift that lets us stop and think, to make decisions that come from a place of wisdom, not just knee-jerk reactions. Animals are driven by pure instinct. But us? We've got the power to choose. But when people gather, that dynamic can change. It's like the tide pulling us in different directions. If we're not careful, we can get swept away in a current of action, not even thinking about what we're doing. It's like that feeling in a crowd when you lose track of your own thoughts because everyone else is moving so fast. To become the fullest version of ourselves, we've got to learn how to sit still sometimes. Just be. It's a solo thing, even in a crowd. When we come together, we're still just individuals, each one a masterpiece of our own making, created by everything we've lived, believed, and dreamed. It's in those quiet moments when we're by ourselves that we can paint the picture of who we truly are. Being alone isn't about being isolated, though. It's a journey within, a chance to connect deeply with yourself, free from the noise of everyone else's opinions. It's like stepping into your own private sanctuary where you can dive into your thoughts, your heart, and really see what's inside. When the world's chaos fades, that's when you can start to hear your soul's whispers, guiding you to your true purpose. In that stillness, you find the wisdom to see life in a whole new light. When we're always surrounded by noise, it's easy to lose our way. But in the quiet, everything becomes clear again. The answer to life's questions isn't out there in the world. It's in here, in the deep silence of being alone. In the quiet of solitude, we find the space to plant the seeds of self-reflection. Think of it like tending to a garden. Each thought, each emotion is a tiny sprout that needs care, patience, and a little bit of love to grow. We water these thoughts, let them take root deep inside, and slowly, we build a connection with the most authentic parts of ourselves. Being alone, it's not an escape. Oh no, it's like embarking on a journey straight to the heart of who we really are. It's peeling back all those layers we wear to face the truth of ourselves. No masks, no pretenses, just us in all our complicated glory. As we wander through this inner world, we start to get a clearer picture of what makes us tick. Our experiences, our feelings, the things that make our hearts race and our minds wander, they all start to make sense. It's like looking at a foggy pond and suddenly seeing the moonlight reflect off it, clear as day. In this stillness, we start to see the patterns in our behavior, the roots of our fears, and the deep-seated dreams that push us forward. It's like planting seeds in the dark, knowing that growth is just around the corner. We begin to realize we're both the sculptor and the clay. We're the ones shaping our future, while also being the ones to be shaped. True change, the kind that lasts, comes when we accept that we are always growing. We pull out the weeds of self-doubt and tend to the flowers of self-love. It's in those quiet, lonely moments where the real magic happens, like a butterfly breaking free from its cocoon. We spread our wings and leave behind the limits of who we were, flying towards something new, something better. but let's be real. Solitude doesn't always sound so appealing, especially in today's fast-paced world. It's easy to want to drown out the noise with distractions, to avoid facing the messiness inside. But here's the thing. What if we stopped running and just sat with ourselves for a while? What if we stopped avoiding the present moment and let ourselves really feel it, all of it? Being alone isn't about being lonely. Nah, it's about being brave enough to stand in front of your true self without all the armor of roles or the validation we so desperately seek from the outside world. It's about seeing both your strengths and your weaknesses, your dreams and your fears, and accepting them all for what they are. In that silence, we find the wisdom we've been overlooking. The wisdom that true growth doesn't come from trying to perfect ourselves, but from embracing the imperfect parts of who we are. We're not meant to be finished works of art. We're masterpieces in progress, constantly evolving. And as we grow, we realize it's not about chasing perfection. It's about understanding and nurturing the divine spark inside of us. This spark, hidden beneath all the layers of expectations, is the key to unlocking our fullest potential. It's funny, isn't it? The idea of being alone sounds so lonely, but really, it's in that quiet space that we end up becoming our own best friend, our own biggest cheerleader, and the only confidant we really need. We start learning how to cut ourselves some slack, forgiving the mistakes we've made and giving ourselves a pat on the back for the wins, big or small. It's in these moments of solitude that we face the shadows hiding inside us, the doubts, the insecurities, the fears that try to cloud over our true selves. Those shadows, they're like dark clouds in the sky, making everything feel gloomy. But once we shine a little light on them, we see them for what they really are. Just illusions. Nothing but passing shadows that have no power against the strength within us. When we really embrace being alone, we start to realize we're not as separate from the world as we might think. In fact, our own growth is part of something bigger. As we nurture ourselves, we also contribute to the world around us. It's like tossing a stone in a pond. The ripple effect of our personal development spreads outward, touching others in ways we might not even see. In the middle of all the noise and rush of life, silence becomes something sacred. It's a pause, a moment to connect with the universe, to hear the whispers of our soul and feel the rhythms that tie us all together. It's in this quiet that we have the space to dream, to think about the life we want, free from all those outside expectations, and embrace the endless possibilities before us. This is the space where we realize we're the ones holding the brush to paint our future. We create the life we want, just by tapping into that deep connection with ourselves. And here's the thing. As we get more in touch with who we are, we become more real in our relationships too. When we know ourselves, we show up in relationships as our authentic selves, which makes those connections so much more meaningful. It's through this journey of being alone that we unlock the door to real, honest bonds with others. You see, being alone doesn't mean we're shutting ourselves off from the world. It actually helps us open up to others. As we get better at understanding our own emotions, we become more emotionally intelligent, which helps us understand others better too. Emotional intelligence is the bridge that lets us connect with others on a deeper level, based on compassion and real understanding. When we know what we're feeling and why, we can communicate that with honesty, creating space for trust and vulnerability. So, those moments when we're alone aren't just about being by ourselves. They're about reflection, about finding clarity in who we are and what we need. It's in those quiet moments that we get the insight to see which relationships truly nourish us and which ones might be holding us back. Being alone helps us spot the relationships that align with our values and support our growth. It also gives us the discernment to walk away from what no longer serves us. When we take a step back and really think about it, the wisdom here is clear. Being alone isn't about isolation. It's a conscious choice to go deep into who we are. It's about embracing who we are, loving ourselves, and extending that love to others. Through this journey of self-discovery, we become a beacon of light, inspiring others to change their own lives in positive ways. So, don't fear being alone. It's not just about solitude, it's a sacred pilgrimage to the heart of who you are. And when you truly understand and love yourself, you unlock the key to understanding and loving others too. It's in this space of being alone that we awaken to the deeper connections that tie us all together. If this message hit home for you, I'd love for you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with anyone who might need it. And drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.